Good afternoon, Devargo. Can you listen me? Would you please type it whether I am audible or not? Just confirm me that you can listen me. Devargo, just type yes or no, that whether you can listen me or not. Yes, sir, audible. Okay, thank you. So let's start. Last day, I feel you remember that I told the story of Albert Einstein at school. So today, I will start it, and I hope that you are sitting with your textbook with you. I hope the textbook is in front of you. So let's start. We are reading chapter number 4 from Snapshot, that is Albert Einstein at School, written by Patrick Pringle. Now here, Patrick Pringle was a renowned Irish writer. Actually, he was a biographer. And this Albert Einstein biography means, you should know that biographer means that he has written about the life of Albert Einstein. Here it is pre-reading that Albert Einstein was born in 1879 and died in 1955. He is regarded as the greatest physicist since Newton. He is the greatest physicist. The world knows him. In the following extract from the young Einstein, the well-known biographer Patrick Pringle describes the circumstances which led to Albert Einstein's expulsion from a German school. It means that Albert Einstein, actually this story that we are going to read today, it has been taken from the young Einstein. The book is known, the young Einstein. From that book, one chapter has been included in your syllabus, and the chapter's name is Albert Einstein at School. So today we are going to start this. You know that last day you told that you don't know whether you had started, when I had started, and in class 11 commerce you were the only student, so all the time, so I am starting it from the beginning. That I told that this is the history class is going on, and the history teacher is asking question to Albert. In what year, Einstein asked the history teacher, did the Prussians defeat the French at Waterloo? The history teacher asks this question to Einstein, that in which year the Prussians defeated the France in the war of Waterloo. Actual answer of this question would be 1815. 1815 is the actual answer of this question, okay? So the history teacher asked this question to Einstein, in which year did the Prussians defeat the France? I don't know, sir. Albert told, I don't know, sir. Why don't you know? You have been told it often enough. The teacher told, why you don't know? Because it had been told you often enough. Means many times it had been told. I must have forgotten. Albert told, I must have forgotten, sir. I have forgotten. Did you ever try to learn? Asked Mr. Brown. So Brown is the history teacher. So Albert told, Albert was not feeling sorry that he did not know the answer. He told that I don't know because I must have forgotten. I have forgotten this. And the history teacher was very angry. He told, did you ever try to learn? No, sir. Albert replied with his usual unthinking honesty. What does usual unthinking honesty? You know, Albert was very honest. He did not think that if I say that when the teacher is asking, have you ever tried to learn? At this, Albert was telling no, sir. Means if the teacher is asking you that have you ever tried to do it? Have you ever tried to do that? And if you ask no, sir, then the teacher must be angry. So here, Albert did not think about, he was very honest. He just, what he was thinking in his mind, he told, no, sir. Okay, I have not tried to remember. Why not? The teacher asked, the teacher was getting angry. Why not? Means why you have not tried to remember? I can't see any point in learning dates. You can always look them up in a book. Albert told, sir, I think why we should learn all the dates of the historical dates, that which date this war was fought. I am not interested to learn, to remind all these dates, to remember all the dates. Because dates always we can get it in a history book, in any book we can get the dates. Mr. Brown was speechless for a few moments. And Mr. Brown was speechless, means he was so surprised. A student is telling that he is not interested to remember the dates because we can find it in the book. A student is answering like this, and the teacher was very much surprised. You amaze me, Einstein, he said at last, and the teacher was so much surprised. He told that you amaze me. Amaze me means surprise me. Einstein, you surprised me. Don't you realize that one can always look most things up in books? So the teacher asked Einstein that why about dates? Don't you think that most of the things, these are taught to you, we can find it in books, okay? So that applies to all the facts you learn in school. Facts means incidents. So the teacher is telling why you are telling about dates. All the incidents, all the facts which are taught to you can be found in book, okay? So why you are telling about the dates? Yes, sir. Einstein told, yes, sir. Then I suppose you don't see any point in learning facts. So the teacher asks this to Einstein, that it means you do not find any point in learning facts. Facts means events, incidents, which are being taught to the students. So here he told that it means that you do not find any point in learning all these facts which are taught to you. Frankly, sir, I don't, said Albert. Albert told, yes, sir. Frankly means straight cut way, in a straighter way, sir. I don't, means I don't find any facts. I don't find it important to remember all the facts. Then you don't believe in education at all. Then the teacher asked this to Einstein. Means you don't believe in education, isn't it? Oh, yes, sir, I do. He told, no, sir, I do. I don't think learning facts is education. So Einstein told, yes, sir, I believe in education, but I don't think that learning facts means learning these incidents, learning the events that had happened past. This is learning all these, remembering all these is not the true means of education, Albert told. Means here Albert was arguing with the teacher. Albert was arguing with the teacher. In that case, said the history teacher with heavy sarcasm. Sarcasm means in an ironical way. In an ironical way, the teacher told, perhaps you will be able to, perhaps you will be so kind as to tell the class the Einstein theory of education. At this, as if the teacher was humiliating Einstein, insulting Einstein, and told, then you tell what would be or what is the theory of education according to you. What is the Einstein theory of education? Means the teacher was asking this to Einstein as a student, that you are thinking that learning facts is not education. Then you tell what is the true meaning of education. What is Einstein's theory of education? You tell. Albert flushed. Here flushed means become reddish. Albert felt ashamed. Albert felt humiliated. Albert felt insulted. And because of why? He became reddish. This is flushed. I think it's not facts that matter but ideas, he said. Now Albert did not relent. Albert did not stay back. Albert started this. Albert continued this argument. He told, I think it's not facts that matter but ideas. He said, sir, I don't feel that this is facts. Means knowing about the incident, it's not the education, but getting ideas about the incident is the true education. I don't see the point in learning the dates of battles or even which of the armies killed more men. I would be more interested in learning why those soldiers were trying to kill each other. Albert told, I don't see the point in learning the dates of battle. He told, sir, I don't feel that remembering or learning the dates of a battle is not important. Or even which of the armies killed more men, or which armies actually two actually battle is fought between two armies. So which armies or the country, which armies belong to which country were killed in more numbers, this is not the important to learn. But I would be more interested in learning why those soldiers were trying to kill each other. So he told, I don't want to actually learn facts. What is event? It has already had been completed. It has already been accomplished. So why I should remember that how many soldiers were killed in that war? But I am interested to know why the soldiers were trying to kill each other. Why the soldiers were trying to kill each other? This is the point that I want to know. Okay, so I am not interested to remember the dates, but I am interested to know that why they were fighting to each other. That's enough. Mr. Brown's eyes. Actually, why Einstein told this? Because if we can understand that why the soldiers of these two countries were fighting to each other, then we can take a lesson from this, and we can avoid another war to be happened. We can avoid any war if we can know the real meaning of it, that why we can take lesson from it, that actually why this battle was fought. That's enough. Mr. Brown's eyes were cold and cruel. Mr. Brown was very much cruel, okay, very much cruel, and he told, that's enough. We don't want a lecture from you, Einstein. And the teacher became very angry. He told Einstein, stop giving your lecture. We don't want any lecture. You will stay in for an extra period today, although I don't imagine it will do you much good. He told this is the Einstein punishment. The history teacher had given the punishment that after the school will be closed, after the school will get over, you must stay for an extra period. This is the punishment that the history teacher had given to Einstein, that after the school would get over, everybody would go home, but you must stay for an extra period in that school after it would be closed that day, okay. That was his punishment. And after giving this punishment, the teacher also told, although I don't imagine it will do you much good, although he told Einstein that although I think that it would be not actually this type of punishment is not going to change you, okay, it's not going to do anything for you because you are like this. It wouldn't do the school any good either. And the teacher told, yes, it is not going to do any good to you, this punishment. On the other hand, it would not do any good to the school as well, because you become incorrigible, you become intolerable, nothing could be changed. You are a disgrace. Here, disgrace means you are unwanted here. I don't know why you continue to come. The teacher became very angry and he asked Einstein that I don't know why do you come to school. You are totally unwanted here. You are incorrigible. We cannot tolerate you in the class, in the school. Why do you come to school? What is the reason for your coming? It's not my wish, sir, Albert pointed out. Albert still did not shut up. He told, sir, it's not my wish that I had to come. Means he wanted to say, sir, it's my parents' wish, it's my father's wish that I should come to school. Then you are an ungrateful boy and ought to be ashamed of yourself. And the teacher, being very angry, told you must be ashamed of yourself. You must feel shame. Okay, you must feel shame, S-H-A-M-E, shame. You must feel shame for coming to school, okay? And you are an ungrateful boy. I suggest you ask your father to take you away. And the teacher, being angry, he told Einstein that tell your father so that your father can take you away from school. You just go away from school. No need. We no need this kind of students, okay? The teacher insulted Einstein. Albert felt miserable when he left school that afternoon. That afternoon, Albert had to stay one more period because he had got the punishment. So after this, when he left school that day, he felt miserable. Miserable means he was feeling very sorry. He was very, he did not accustomed to it all this. He was feeling uncomfortable. Not that it had been a bad day. Most days were bad now. Anyway, but because he had to go back to the hateful place the next morning. Now, Albert was feeling sorry for what had happened today. It is not the reason that what had happened today. He had an argument with the history teacher, and history teacher had given him punishment. So this is not the real reason that he was feeling sorry for. He was feeling sorry that next day again he had to come to that hateful place. This is different. I feel for almost all the students, school is a place where they go, or you students come to the school for all your enjoyment. This is not only your relating to your study, but you can meet all your friends, you can play with your friends, you can cope up with your atmosphere, lots of enjoyment over there in the school. So school is a golden place, is a golden time. School life is a golden time in a student's life. But it is different for Einstein. He was thinking, he was feeling sorry that next morning again he had to come back to this hateful place. School actually was hateful place to him. This is unusual For most of the students, it is the most enjoyable place to come in, but for Albert, it was a hateful place. So he was feeling sorry that not that what had happened at school that day, because he was feeling sorry that next morning again he had to come back to this hateful place. Okay, and yes, next morning he only wished his father would take him away. He wished that if his father would take him away, if his father would withdraw him from the school. But there was no point in even asking. He knew that if he would ask this to his father would not listen. He knew what the answer would be. So if his father does not withdraw him, he would have to continue with the school. So he knew what the answer would be. He would have to stay until he had taken his diploma. He knew that if he would tell this, if he would request to his father that please take me away, then father would ask me, or father would ask him that you would have to continue the school until you get the diploma. Here diploma means the final result, the board result. Until you get board result, he had to continue to this school. Understood, Devargo? Just type down whether you have understood and whether you have any question. Write it down. Have you understood? Devargo, have you understood? Do you have any queries, any question that so far I have taught? Do you have any question? Okay, you have understood. Do you want to ask any question? Okay, thank you. So let's start, let's continue. So he knew that if you tell this to his father would tell him that he must take his diploma. He would have to continue his school until he gets his diploma. Going back to his lodgings did not cheer him up. Lodgings means staying place. Now, as he was a student in that school of Munich, Albert had to stay in a house as a paying guest. Okay, as a paying guest. So he had gone where he had to stay, and he was not cheered up. He was very much frustrated. His father had so little money to spare that Albert had been found a room in one of the poorest quarters of Munich. Now his father, he did not have much money, so Albert had found a place in the poorest quarter of Munich. Poorest quarter means in the slum area. That Albert had to stay in the slum area because he did not have much money. His father did not have much money to spend for his son. Now, and that is why Albert had to stay in that slum area. He did not mind the bad food and the lack of comfort, or even the dirt and squalor, but he hated the atmosphere of slum violence. Now, the food was very bad, the room was uncomfortable, but Albert could come, Albert and the area was very dirty, okay, or even the dirt or squalor. Squalor means being the state of dirty, so the state of dirt, okay, so actually it was very dirty, and Albert actually did not mind about all this, that the food was tasteless, the staying place, the room was uncomfortable, but still, he could not mind it, but he hated the atmosphere of slum violence. But what he disliked there is the atmosphere of slum violence. Here slum violence means he had seen that people actually, they indulge in fighting, they indulge in quarreling, they use bad languages, slang languages, okay, there was no peace there. So that he disliked in the slum area. This has been told as slum violence, okay. His landlady beat her children regularly, and every Saturday her husband came drunk and beat her. Here her landlady, in whose house Albert used to stay as a paying guest, that landlady, the owner of that house, she was a lady, she actually used to beat her children from Monday to Friday and from Sunday to Friday, and every Saturday her husband would come being drunk and he would beat his wife. So we can understand that where the people are indulging in fighting, people are using bad languages, slang languages, Here, men are beating their wives. So this is not a good atmosphere at all. So that atmosphere that Albert actually disliked the most. So he did not mind, he did not bother about the tasteless foods and the lack of comfort in that room. But what he disliked is that slum violence, that he did not want to stay there, okay? Stay there. Now, but at least you have a room of your own, which is more than I can say, said Yuri when he called round in the evening, okay? Now, Yuri was his friend, and almost every evening Yuri used to come to meet with Albert. Now, at least you have a room of your own, which is more than I can say, said Yuri, when he called round in the evening. Called round means came to visit Albert. And evening, Yuri, his friend, used to come to visit Albert, and he told that, Albert, you don't know, you do not, or you should not complain against, because you can have that opportunity to stay alone in your room. At least you live among civilized human beings, even if they are all poor students, said Albert. Albert told, no, actually Yuri had to stay in the school hostel. So Albert was telling that at least you are living with the civilized people. Here civilized people means the students. Means Yuri stayed in the school hostel. So when Yuri came to Albert, he told Albert that you are staying alone in that room. It is good that this is your own room. At this, Albert told, no, you live among the civilized people. The civilized people and other students. Yuri actually had to stay in the school hostel. They are not all civilized, Yuri replied. Yuri told, no, those people are not civilized. Okay, those people are not civilized. Did you not hear that one of them was killed last week in a duel? Now, Yuri told this to Albert, that last week one student was killed in a duel. In a duel means fighting, wrestling. Okay, wrestling, fighting. In Bengali, this is known as kusti lora, ba kusti lorai. So Yuri told Albert that, did you not listen that one boy was killed in the duel? Means in the school hostel, one student killed another in the duel. Okay. So today up to this, I feel you have understood so far. We will continue up to the next class. Okay. In our next class, we will continue. I have marked it that today we have completed up to here. Okay. So till then, it's goodbye.